Hey, design fans. Ready to dive into some seriously stylish living rooms with me today?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. So we're talking contemporary design today.
Yeah.
And, whether you're like dreaming of a total makeover, just want to kind of like refresh your space a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got you covered.
I love it.
Yeah. So we're taking inspiration from this designer interview I was listening to. It's on the Interior Blockchain Studio podcast.
Oh, yeah. I love that one.
Right. They're great. And they spilled all the tea on like the latest trends and tips. So get ready to learn all about mixing design styles, adding those trendy sapphire and gold accents that are everywhere right now.
Yes.
And even like creating that indoor-outdoor flow, with a tropical garden vibe. It's going to be good.
I'm so excited. This is my favorite.
So good. Okay, so let's bring in our expert guide to help us break it all down.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I'm curious, when we say contemporary design, like what exactly are we talking about? It's not just the same as modern, is it?
We're right. It's a bit more nuanced than just saying, modern design. Contemporary design does share some similarities with modern aesthetics, but it's much more fluid and like constantly evolving.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like this carefully curated mix of different styles and eras.
Okay.
You can think of Japandi, bohemian, Scandinavian, even a touch of farmhouse. Like you can kind of
Wow, so many.
throw it all in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating about it is that it creates this space that feels really fresh and personal, but also timeless.
Right.
Which I think is something a lot of people are looking for these days.
Yeah, timeless design, that's something I can get behind. Like nobody wants to be redecorating every year just to keep up with all the latest fads.
I guess I'll forward that.
But this idea of mixing styles, it sounds so amazing.
Yeah.
But how do you actually pull it off in real life? Like how do you blend something like Japandi with rustic or bohemian with Scandinavian without ending up with a room that just feels like chaotic?
Well, the secret is in the balance and intentionality behind your choices.
Yeah, okay.
Like taking your example of blending Japandi with rustic.
Yeah.
You've got the minimalism and natural materials of Japandi, and then the warmth and those like organic textures of rustic on the other.
Yeah, okay.
Like picture this, a sleek, low-profile Japandi sofa paired with a chunky wooden coffee table.
Ooh. I like it.
Right. That contrast in form is so interesting.
Yeah.
And then to connect those warm tones, you might add in a touch of gold in your lighting or hardware.
Oh, I can already see it. The clean lines of the sofa with that rugged coffee table. It's like
it's so good.
Playing with contrast, but in a very deliberate way.
Yes, exactly.
So you mentioned gold accents, and I know sapphire blue is also super trendy right now.
It's huge.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
But these colors can add a lot of personality to a space.
Yes.
Is there a risk of going overboard? Like, can you make the space feel too loud if you use too much?
Absolutely. There's definitely like a sweet spot when it comes to using trendy colors. Think of them as accents that elevate the space.
Oh,
not the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could choose like a statement piece, like a sapphire velvet armchair with those like on-trend golden legs.
Nice.
Or if you prefer like a more subtle approach, maybe just a sapphire throw blanket on a neutral sofa. Even small touches can make a big impact.
That's really smart. Those are some really clever ways to bring in those trendy colors without overwhelming the room. Now, our source also talked a lot about the importance of texture in contemporary design.
Yes.
It seems like it's not just about what you see, but also about what you can almost like feel in the space.
Right.
How do you play with different textures without making the room feel cluttered? That's what I'm wondering.
It's all about finding a balance between contrasting textures.
Oh, okay.
So think smooth against rough or matte against glossy.
Okay.
For example, imagine a textured plaster wall as a backdrop for a smooth velvet sofa.
I like it already.
Right. Or you could have a hand-woven rug with like a chunky texture under a sleek metal coffee table.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as linen curtains against a wooden framed glass door. It's all about those subtle contrasts that add a layer of sophistication.
You're making me want to reach out and touch everything.
I know, right?
It sounds like those contrasting textures create such a rich and inviting atmosphere.
Totally.
I'm realizing that good design isn't just about adding more stuff.
Right.
It's about choosing pieces that have that tactile appeal and visual interest.
Absolutely.
Speaking of choosing the right pieces, let's talk about furniture. The term designer furniture gets thrown around a lot.
It does.
But what makes it different from regular furniture? Like, what should people be thinking about when they're making that investment?
That's a great question. Designer furniture is more than just a fancy label.
Okay.
It represents a commitment to craftsmanship, high-quality materials, and a design process that prioritizes both aesthetics and functionality.
Right.
You're not just buying a piece of furniture.
Mm-hmm.
You're investing in something that's built to last, both in terms of durability and style.
Yeah.
Think of it as a reflection of your own discerning taste.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about pieces that are beautiful, well-made, and functional. Like basically the trifecta.
That's it, yeah.
I know a lot of people dream of having that seamless connection between their living room and a lush outdoor space.
Yes.
How can we create that kind of indoor-outdoor flow that feels so serene and inviting, even if we don't actually live in a tropical paradise?
Bringing the outdoors in is like a signature element of contemporary design, and it might be easier than you think. The key is to maximize natural light by using floor-to-ceiling windows or glass doors whenever possible. This not only blurs the lines between inside and out, but also makes the space feel larger and more airy.
I love that.
Yeah. Another trick is to use consistent flooring materials both inside and out.
Okay.
So imagine the same tile or wood flowing from your living room right out onto a patio or deck.
Oh, yeah.
It really creates that visual continuity and makes the transition feel seamless.
That's a clever trick.
Yeah.
I love that idea of visually connecting the spaces with consistent flooring. But what if we don't have a ton of natural light or a big outdoor space to work with?
Right.
What are some other ways to bring in those natural elements?
Don't underestimate the power of bringing those natural elements inside.
Yeah.
Indoor plants are your best friend here.
Sure.
Even a few strategically placed plants can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Think about incorporating a variety of sizes and textures.
Okay.
A large fiddle leaf fig can make a dramatic statement.
Totally.
While a collection of succulents on a windowsill adds a touch of greenery.
Right.
And of course, natural materials are your allies here. Wood, stone, rattan. These elements all bring those organic textures and colors into your space.
You're making me want to turn my living room into a jungle.
Go for it. Why not?
But before we get too carried away,
Okay.
I want to make sure we capture the essential advice.
Okay.
Our design expert shared their top 5 tips for creating the perfect contemporary living room.
Yes.
Let's hear those now.
Absolutely. First and foremost, remember that quality over quantity is paramount.
Okay.
Invest in fewer, well-made pieces that you truly love,
Yeah.
rather than filling your space with trendy items that you'll tire of quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Second, pay attention to balance,
Okay.
both in terms of colors and materials.
Right.
Don't be afraid to mix neutrals with bold accents, like those sapphire and gold touches we talked about,
Yeah.
to create visual interest.
Those are some great reminders. I'm definitely taking notes here.
Yeah.
What about the other 3 tips?
Of course. Third, embrace natural light whenever possible.
Okay.
Maximize windows and consider using mirrors strategically to bounce that light around the room. Fourth, remember to layer those textures thoughtfully. Combine soft fabrics with more structured furniture and incorporate natural materials to create that rich and inviting tactile experience.
So it's not just about throwing a bunch of different textures together.
Right.
It's about being deliberate with those choices. What about the final tip?
And finally, don't forget to bring in nature.
Yes.
Whether it's through a direct connection to the outdoors, a collection of indoor plants, or simply incorporating natural materials and colors in your decor, that touch of nature will infuse your living room with a sense of tranquility and freshness.
These are such valuable insights. It's all about making intentional choices and creating a space that reflects your personal style while embracing those key elements of contemporary design. Now, I think we've covered a lot of ground here in part 1. Let's take a moment to digest all this amazing information, and we'll be back in part 2 to explore some more inspiring ideas and dive a little deeper into these concepts.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Welcome back, design enthusiasts. I'm still buzzing from all those amazing contemporary design ideas we talked about in part 1. One thing that really stuck with me was this whole idea of curated design. Like, every piece in the room has a purpose, you know? It tells a story.
Exactly. In contemporary design, it's not just about filling a space with a bunch of furniture and decor.
Right.
It's about making those deliberate choices that reflect your personal style and create a cohesive and meaningful environment.
I like that, yeah.
Each element should have a reason for being there, whether it's something functional like a comfortable sofa or something purely decorative, like a piece of art that speaks to your soul.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like it's all about striking that perfect balance between form and function.
Right.
But how do you avoid getting caught up in trends that might be fleeting? It's so easy to get swept up in what's in at the moment.
It is.
But how do you create a contemporary space that feels timeless and true to you?
Trends can be a fantastic source of inspiration, but the key is to adapt them to your own personal taste and lifestyle.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what kind of atmosphere do I want to create in my living room? What colors, textures, and styles make me feel most at home?
Yeah.
Those answers will guide you towards choices that feel authentic and enduring rather than just trendy and temporary.
That's a great point. It's so easy to get caught up in what's hot right now. Yeah. But ultimately, your home should be a reflection of your own unique personality and style.
Exactly.
Speaking of style, we talked about blending different design aesthetics in part 1.
Yeah.
Are there any unexpected pairings that you found work particularly well in a contemporary setting?
One of my favorite unexpected combinations is blending Art Deco elements with a more modern minimalist foundation.
Oh, interesting.
Think about incorporating those bold geometric patterns, luxurious materials like velvet and brass, maybe even a touch of that old Hollywood glamour.
Oh, I love that.
You can introduce these elements through carefully chosen accent pieces, like a geometric patterned rug, a velvet armchair with brass accents.
Ooh, fancy.
Or even a vintage-inspired bar cart.
That sounds so chic.
Yeah.
I love how those Art Deco touches can add a layer of visual interest and personality to a more minimalist space.
Yes.
But I'm imagining that it takes a certain finesse to blend these styles effectively.
It does.
What advice would you give to listeners who might be feeling a little hesitant to experiment with mixing different aesthetics?
I think the key is to start small and build gradually.
Okay.
Begin by incorporating 1 or 2 Art Deco-inspired pieces and see how they feel in the space.
Yeah.
Pay attention to scale and proportion. A large-scale Art Deco mirror can make a dramatic statement in a minimalist living room, while a smaller piece, like a sculptural brass vase, can add a subtler touch of glamour.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to play around and see what works for you.
That's really helpful advice. Sometimes it's easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer number of possibilities. But starting small and building from there seems like a much more approachable way to experiment with different styles.
Totally.
Now, our source also talked about the importance of investing in quality furniture for a contemporary living room.
Yes.
And it sounds like those pieces are really the foundation of the space.
They are.
So what should listeners be looking for when making those furniture choices?
Absolutely. When choosing furniture for a contemporary living room, it's essential to consider both functionality and versatility.
Okay.
This is a space where you'll likely be spending a lot of time, so it needs to be comfortable and functional for your lifestyle.
That makes sense.
Think about how you use your living room
and
choose pieces that support those activities.
Yeah, okay.
If you love to entertain, a spacious sectional sofa with plenty of seating might be a good investment.
Yeah.
If you enjoy curling up with a good book, a comfortable armchair with a built-in reading light is a must-have.
So we're looking for pieces that are both beautiful and practical. That makes a lot of sense. But in terms of aesthetics, what kind of furniture styles tend to work well in a contemporary setting? I'm picturing clean lines and a more minimalist approach, but are there other elements to consider?
You're on the right track. Clean lines, geometric shapes, and a thoughtful mix of materials are all hallmarks of contemporary furniture design.
I see.
Look for pieces with a sense of visual lightness rather than heavy or ornate designs.
Got it.
Natural materials like wood, leather, and stone are always great choices as they bring a sense of warmth and authenticity to the space.
Right.
You can also play with metallics like brass, copper, and chrome to add a touch of industrial chic or glamour.
Okay.
And don't forget about the importance of textiles.
Yeah.
Velvet, linen, and wool can all add texture and visual interest to upholstery and accent pieces.
It seems like finding that right balance of different materials and textures is key to creating a space that feels both stylish and welcoming. It's like you're creating a symphony of textures.
Exactly.
Now let's go back to this idea of connecting the indoors with the outdoors.
Yes.
We talked about using floor-to-ceiling windows and consistent flooring, but are there any other ways to blur those lines between inside and out? I'm especially thinking about those listeners who might not have a large outdoor space to work with.
One of my favorite strategies for creating a seamless transition between the living room and the outdoors is to use large sliding glass doors that disappear completely into the wall when open.
Oh, that's nice.
This creates a wonderful sense of openness and allows you to extend your living space outdoors effortlessly, even if you have a smaller patio or balcony.
Yeah.
It's all about maximizing that connection to the outdoors, no matter the size of your space.
I love that.
Yeah.
Imagine those warm summer evenings sliding open the doors and letting the fresh air flow in.
Yes.
It's like bringing the outdoors right into your living room.
Exactly.
But what about the design aspect? Like, how do you create that sense of continuity between the indoor and outdoor spaces?
Think about extending your indoor design elements outdoors.
Okay.
Use similar colors and materials in your outdoor furniture and decor to create a sense of visual cohesion.
Oh, okay.
For example, if you have a sapphire blue accent chair in your living room,
Yeah.
you might consider adding some sapphire blue cushions to your outdoor seating area.
Right, yeah.
It's those little touches that create that harmonious flow between the spaces.
That's a great example.
Oh.
I can see how those little echoes of color and style would really tie the spaces together. We've talked about indoor plants and natural materials, but are there any other ways to weave those natural elements into the design, even if you don't have a green thumb or a sprawling garden? Absolutely. Don't underestimate the power of natural materials in your decor.
Okay.
A large piece of driftwood can make a striking sculptural statement,
Yeah.
while a collection of woven baskets can add both texture and warmth.
Right.
And remember, bringing in nature isn't just about visuals.
Yeah.
Think about scent as well.
Oh, interesting. A diffuser with essential oils like lavender or eucalyptus can instantly create a sense of calm and relaxation in your living room.
That's a nice touch.
It's like bringing the spa experience right into your home.
That's a brilliant idea. I love how those little details can really enhance the overall atmosphere of a space. I'm feeling so inspired by all of these creative ideas. We've covered a lot of ground here in part 2.
We have.
Exploring everything from blending unexpected design styles to incorporating those natural elements that make a space feel truly inviting.
It's been a fascinating journey so far. And remember, contemporary design is all about creating a space that truly reflects your personal style and enhances your well-being. So don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with the process.
If you enjoyed this video and found inspiration for your own outdoor living space, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Interior Blockchain Studio. Your support helps us bring more stunning interior and exterior design ideas to life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest trends in luxury and nature-inspired home design. See you in the next video.